And let's go straight across to Dr. Azhar Radwan Sedki, who's joining us on the broadcast, political analyst and author, just to make a better sense of what we're seeing happening right now. Thanks very much for being here. I have to begin by asking you for your assessment of the way in which the sheer scale at which these latest strikes are being carried out, with Iran and Israel both launching those strikes, specifically talking about how Israel is now going after Iran's energy infrastructure.
It's mind-boggling, actually. It's something that I never expected. I expected, little things like a bombing here or a ballistic missile there, but this is real war. And I don't see it ending soon. I can see it as continuing unless Western leaders and President Trump and Starmer and the rest try to get Israel to stop its attack on Iran. Iran will continue to fight back. Iran will continue to try its best. So nothing can happen unless Israel is stopped.
But do you really see that happening? I also have to ask you, at this point, do you see any scope for diplomacy?
It's not diplomacy, it's an order. I mean, if you have friends who become complicit in your murder, in your genocide, in your attack on every country in your proximity, then they're not friends anymore. They have to tell Israel that we will not help you. We will not provide you with the necessary arms that get you to do such matters. That's the only way we can do it. Iran has the backing of the West. Israel has the backing of the West. And Israel has nuclear arms, so it has the upper hand in the area. So unless someone comes in and tells Israel to stop whatever it's doing, we're going to continue to see this. And civilians at both ends will die. There is not, and then at the same time, we're diverting attention from what's happening in Gaza. I mean, the genocide that is occurring. And then one day they hit Syria, the other day they hit Lebanon, the third day they wipe the Western Gaza. So how can we deal with this? This has to be stopped, and it has to be by the upper hand. And the upper hand here is the West.
Let me just quickly ask you, you're talking about an intervention coming in, but from where will that intervention coming? Also, the role of the U.S. and how far it would be willing to go as far as the situation that's unfolding right now is concerned. I'll just come back to you for comments on that. There are some breaking inputs coming in, more details trickling in right this minute as we keep a close eye on the aftermath of those strikes, the fresh round of escalation taking place between Iran and Israel.
Who else can intervene? Tell me.
Yes, I'll just come back to you. I'll just come back to you for your comments, Dr. Azhar Radwan. Stay with me, please.
Okay.
All right, so on your screen right now, these are satellite images that we are getting to you that basically compare Iranian nuclear military facilities before and after attacks. Very crucial images that are coming in. Now, these are images of the impact of the Israeli strikes on the Isfahan nuclear site and the IRGC facility in Tehran. Let's take a look at these images. We're getting you satellite images that we will, of course, delve into. In fact, these satellite images basically compare the Iranian nuclear military facilities and giving us a sense of the before and after the attacks. And these are the images of the impact of the Israeli strikes, of the aftermath of the Israeli strikes on the Isfahan nuclear site and the IRGC facility in Tehran.
nuclear sites releases clouds of radiation in the whole area. Like it is known that you should never bomb a nuclear site, and they're doing just that. So when Israel says that Iran is targeting civilians, the Israeli civilians are in bunkers, while the Iranians, 78 of them died in Tehran alone the first day, and look at what is happening now. Massive explosions, massive explosions. Intervention is the only way, but the intervention cannot come from anyone but the West. Today, Starmer said that he is sending military jets to the area, and he may defend Israel. Where are we going with this? This will be a third world war.
Yes, exactly the point that I was wanting to touch upon with you, because, you know, there is a huge question mark of how far the US will be willing to go, and a lot will depend on that. America's role will determine a lot. We already have seen the kind of statements that have been coming in from both Iran and Israel, and the kind of action that we're seeing on the ground. Neither side willing to back down at this point. So I want to ask you for your assessment of where you see things headed as far as the US involvement is concerned.
Well, the US has and will continue to back Israel forever. We are not going to even think of another way of behaving. However, it is for the benefit of Israel that at this point, President Trump says enough is enough. This is a slippery slope. And chances are, I mean, you're going to get so many who will be affected by this. I mean, if Iran closes the strait, the Hormuz Strait, I mean, everyone in the area would be affected. Kuwait, Bahrain, Dubai, Saudi Arabia. If Israel bombs the nuclear site that provides the desalinization for the area, then Kuwait, Bahrain, Dubai, Qatar, and Saudi will be affected. This is major. We are talking about a major event. And in the same time, there are thousands dying in Gaza, and no one's talking about them.
The Iran-US nuclear talks that were supposed to happen on Sunday, the Omani minister declaring
have been cancelled.
Yes, that the talks will not be taking place. Just for the benefit of our viewers, if you could just explain the significance of that setback for West Asia diplomacy right now at this crucial juncture. Of course, the timing of this escalation closely tied in with those nuclear talks and those repercussions as well.
Well, from the start, Netanyahu have been trying to get the U.S. involved. He hasn't succeeded yet, and although the announcements coming from the U.S. are, some of them say that the U.S. has known all along. I mean, Trump himself said this, but then Rubio says that, no, we were not involved. So we're trying to keep the U.S. out of it so that it doesn't enlarge from a different perspective, because there are military sites, U.S. sites in the Gulf, and that could be even a worse situation. Can we start the talks again? Not at this point. The Iranians don't have anything but the fact that they have nuclear intention. The only thing that they can sort of stand and hold and say, okay, this is something against you. So they won't give up this as easily as the U.S. would want, unless they get the sanctions out, unless the U.S. is willing to give some. Now, Israel is at the other side trying its best to continue to push the US into this war. It's quite mind-boggling. I have never seen anything like this before. Did you know that Netanyahu has been talking about Pakistan being next? Where is this coming from? He wants to be the only nuclear country in the area. That's it.
Can I just ask you to comment on the kind of messaging that's been coming in from the two sides, where they're talking about not backing down. They're, of course, talking about how their operations, their respective operations will continue. But at the same time, what we are witnessing right now, energy infrastructure being targeted. We're looking at the aftermath of those strikes on both sides, since this fresh round has been launched at the same time by the two sides. Because like you also mentioned at the outset, what happens in West Asia, or what happens through the Iran-Israel skyrocketing tensions has far-reaching implications. For example, the closure of the Hormuz Strait. If that happens, that's going to be having far-reaching repercussions.
Of course. But it's words. They're both saying we're doing a good job. Israel has never been hit like this before. Even on October 7th, it wasn't hit as it's being hit now. But Iran is being devastated too. So they're both. It has to be stopped. And we can't continue to burn infrastructure and kill civilians and let this continue. We can't. We have to change. I guess I'm not President Trump. I'm sorry.